This week's conference starts a brand new semester at the Shala, and I'm excited about taking the last part of our studies of the 8 limbs where we were talking about enlightenment and how yoga is the path to become a lighter being, a being of light and a lighter being, and that is our spirituality. Sometimes hard to have languaging around it, but we understand that there is an emotional ascension. There's an emotional and a spiritual in a way that we become brighter and more loving and more kind and more trusting in our way of showing up and living our precious life. And yoga is one of the, as I talked about last week, one of the tips to enlightenment. Yoga is one of the ways, one of the practices that we use in order to ascend. And so the semester's title is Ascension into Our Lightness and Health, the Physiology and Spirituality of Yoga. And I would like to invite all of you to get a couple books for the semester. One book I would like you to get that is probably in most of your libraries if you've been studying with me for a while is Carolyn Meese' Anatomy of the Spirit. And we're going to be using the chakras as a way to look at how we are ascending emotionally, but also we're going to tie that into physiologically, like what's happening in our gut and our heart and our feet. In yoga, that helps us open up into this lightness. So please have your Anatomy of the Spirit. And then I'm going to use some different yoga books. So we'll have Patabi Joyce. Next week, we're doing Your Feet First. So I'm going to be using a comparison with John Scott and Sharat, which will be fun. So I'm going to be putting in some other yoga books. But one other book I would like you to have for this semester is a yoga anatomy book. There's so many out there. The one I brought on Sunday is different from the one I'm holding in my hand. This one happens to be the Trail Guide to the Body, which is excellent. But a book that goes through the anatomy. So as we're looking at yoga poses, we can look at your skeletal structure, your muscular structure, and understand how they're all connected and work together. And so we're going to really bring together in a new way this idea of yoga and yoga poses to understand the body and how that is also helping us understand our emotions and our spirits and to continue to grow and to become lighter. At the end of conference, and it's always hard for me to, do a short little video and tell you everything. So please, you can watch conference or you can just listen to the audio. I was going to just try to make like podcasts, like audios for you, but then I thought, that's extra work. You can just hit play and not watch me wave my arms around, but listen to conference. So I hope you can listen to conference. And at the very end, I talk about yoga being the path to light, and I talk about the Bodhisattva, which the Bodhisattva is the Buddha who stays here to help other sentient beings become enlightened. And so in a sense, as yogis, we are all bodhisattvas. We're here not only for our own light, but to bring light to others, which is why we do the metta meditation with a 3rd and a 4th round. So when I was talking about the physical body, I was talking about this body being an avatar. It's a vessel for my soul to have an experience. And the avatar is also like a deity or a superhero who's here to help others. And so at the very end, I ask you to choose something that will remind you that you are a spirit in a human body. You are a spirit on a material planet. And it could be, I have a beautiful necklace with my favorite deity on it. And so I touch this and it helps remind me that I'm a spiritual being and I want to invoke the qualities of this particular energy. But it could be someone had a heart necklace her husband gave him. And so she's going to remember maybe to be loving, whatever her intention is as powerful beings on this planet to transform not only ourselves, but to transform others and to transform our families, our communities, and this planet, especially during these times where we feel like there's darkness. We need to be the ones we're waiting for. We want to be the light in the world. So find something tangible that you can have somewhere that'll remind you that you are the light and that you can remember to be that light. Join me for conference.